the year. A lot of it was Christmas music. It was beautiful. It's amazing. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. This is our first annual event in support of Pacekids, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And especially thank you to all our Partners in Hope sponsors for supporting this event this evening. We couldn't do it without you, and as most of you know, there's some pretty amazing gifts that many of you have already won tonight, and so thank you all to all the sponsors for the support. I read a quote a few years back that said, "Girls compete with each other, women empower one another." This is a room full of women. I am honored to be your host tonight. This evening is about celebrating each one of you and the exceptional choices that you've made in your life. Choices that have a real impact on those around you and our community as a whole. You're here in this room tonight because you have consistently made choices to empower other women, to evoke change, and to understand the importance of community. So I want to say a huge thank you for your enduring efforts and success in making the world around you a much better place to be. I recognize and I am inspired by all of you here. I believe at times we underestimate the power we have to make a difference, to change the way things are in this world. But seeing all of you gathered here tonight and learning some of your stories, I know for a fact that your impact is significant. I know for a fact that you empower others and each other. I know for a fact that all of you have influence in your community and that you've worked hard to make that influence a good one. You've made the choice to direct your own lives, to write your own stories, and the outcome has been extraordinary. It's been extraordinary in your personal lives, it's been extraordinary in your careers, and from a philanthropic standpoint. Now I'd like to take a moment to talk about the important focus of this evening. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to talk about the Pacekids program and the excellent work that they do. This is a charity that is very, very close to my heart and has a great impact on the families and the local communities. Since 1994, Pacekids has been providing therapy, education, and family empowerment for children with special needs. They are critical to the health of our community as a whole. Sadly, for children in the Pacekids Early Childhood Services program, there is a funding shortfall of almost $1,000 per child. This adds up to over $130,000 of funding, which is needed to continue to do the good work that Pacekids does. So in order to address this shortfall, a new program has been created, which is being unveiled here tonight. Pacekids has launched the Fund a Child program, which is an annual giving program raising awareness for this funding shortfall. And as you can see when you looked around the room, there's some pictures of kids and the parents and the children that are sponsored by this program. This program provides opportunity for individuals, groups, and corporations to support a child in this program and ensure that they continue to receive the support that they need. What is unique is that each supporter in the Fund a Child program will receive a monthly update on these kids. You're going to get a video, you're going to get artwork that the kids have done, you're going to get a letter from these kids. Updates that make you remember what you're doing and why you're doing it for these children and the difference that you're making. Pacekids truly does wonderful work in our community, and I'm delighted to spread the word and encourage all of you here to lend a hand. Nelson Mandela once said that there can be no keener revelation of society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. So I want to take a moment to recognize the labors of Pacekids and the dedication to uplifting and supporting children and families in our community. Children make up almost 1/3 of our population, and they are our future. Investing in the future of these children will enable them and their families to have success and have all the tools necessary to ensure their success in this world. Supporting a charity like this strengthens the soul of our society, and it is the littlest members of our world who will benefit from your support. the ones who always can't speak up on their own and ask for help themselves. I promise you the effects of your contribution tonight will be long-reaching and long-lasting. After the Olympics in 2010, I made a promise to myself that I would use the success we had to give back. That I didn't want to hang my Olympic medal on a wall to be admired and collect dust. Instead, I wanted to leverage my experience to make a difference where I could. The funny thing for me is that I never considered everything I would receive in return for that choice. It's been an incredibly rewarding journey. And I would argue that the thrill of it parallels and possibly even outstrips the thrill of winning an Olympic medal. There are so many incredibly special moments along the way that came to me because I chose to give, because I chose to make a difference and speak out for those that sometimes struggle to be heard. I've received so much more than I've ever given in lessons and in touching moments and in relationships and special bonds. And I'm not done yet. So tonight, though, for me, is just one of those moments on my journey, because I have the privilege to be in a room with some pretty amazing women, individuals who have chosen to make a difference in big and little ways and change the landscape of our society for the better. So congratulations for that. It's obvious by all of you in this room here tonight that you don't need an Olympic medal to do that. You just need to make the choice. And I want to leave you tonight with a thought from the late attorney and writer Albert Pike. And he said these words over 100 years ago. What we do for ourselves alone dies with us. What we do for others and the world remains and is immortal. So thank you very much, ladies, for being here tonight. I met one of the mothers here tonight. I met Kendra and Zayden, and just right, there's Kendra there, and Zayden is the little boy on the right, and Kendra's in the room tonight. Where is Kendra? There's Kendra right here. Kendra's in the room, and she would be more than willing to talk about what Pacekids has done for her and for Zayden, and so thank you so much, Kendra, for doing that. Now, the thing that we've all been waiting for, food. I know this is a room full of women. I would like to introduce now a very special friend of mine, someone who clearly understands the importance of community, who does so much for others, who evokes change, and who makes a difference for so many in our city. He's a world-renowned chef, businessman, and he just happens to be the owner of two of my very favorite restaurants in the city, Notable and the Nash. So over to you, Chef Michael Noble. Thank you for being here tonight.
But one thing I can promise is that I will not sing. And that goes back to grade 2 when my choir teacher actually stopped mid-rehearsal and said, okay, hang on a sec. This time we're going to do it again. Michael, just pretend to sing this time. And it scarred me for life, and then I had kids, and then I had to sing bedtime songs, and I was mortified. What if the neighbor's here? But I think really what it was, I've had this deep voice since I was in grade 2. It wasn't that I was singing badly, it was just that she couldn't hear anybody else in the choir. People might say I'm like that in the kitchen once in a while. David? He's denying everything. I just want to say thank you for being here. It's an honor for me to be here. Hey, we're pretty close to Christmas, right? There's a lot of Christmas parties going on in the Nash and Notable tonight. And I would say for the most part, at this time of the year, I take a very humble pass on doing events outside. But Cheryl is a great friend. And there's things that we never know when we do things. When I open Notable, I imagine how it would taste, how it would smell, what it would kind of look like. I had no idea what neighborhood it was in, and then when I decided, everybody thought I was crazy. But that's okay. Sometimes we just have to go with our heart and go with our feeling and do what we feel is right. And I was hoping that people would come to Notable. But the interesting thing was, I pictured a lot of people, but I didn't picture their faces. And so the amazing thing in 6.5 years is now those faces have taken shape, and they are names, and they are people, and they are friends. And when Cheryl said, hey, oh, that's my choir teacher. She's flashing. And Cheryl said, this means a lot. This is community, this is about children, this is about families. I totally get it, and I got it. And it didn't take any convincing to say yes. And then Cheryl said, well, and it's only going to be women at the event. So I was like, what took you so long to ask? So yes, I have 2 restaurants. They are very connected to who I am and what I do, and I was lucky because I discovered, you know, what really excites me and makes me happy, and it actually became my job. There were moments when I was 21 or 22 and getting yelled at on a Friday night by my chef that I wasn't sure about that, but you know, I got past those points and yeah, opened these 2 humble restaurants in the city, and it's a great opportunity. They're very different for me to have 2 different experiences even for myself. The Nash is the new baby. It just turned 2 last week. That is and will be the last restaurant I ever opened in my career. Because I love the people side of it. Again, back to the people. And I want to be able to show up at Notable when Cheryl and her friends are sitting around 1 bottle of wine. Maybe. 1 at a time. Okay, let's put it that way. And you know, what I love about Cheryl is how she gets involved in the community, and to me that is the root of why I do what I do, and the beautiful thing about a restaurant is it's in a community, and we have close to a couple thousand people every week come through, and we get to make people a little happier, hopefully, than when they came in. And the ones that aren't happy, well, you can read about those on Chowhound. Of course, they never put their name, right? Alias somebody who apparently knows more about cooking or restauranting than I do, and I just accept that, right? Yeah. But, you know, we do a lot in the community. In 6 years plus since Notable opened, we've put over $300,000 in cash towards everything, from elementary school silent auctions to amazing events like this, which just make a huge impact in the community. And I really believe that whatever we put out there is going to come back to us. And I hope that all the haters in the world are thinking about that. Because if you just put out hate and you just criticize, you're not going to have a lot of happiness come back. And you know, whatever the bloggers say, I don't really care. When I look in the mirror and check in with myself and say, hey, are you happy? It's a huge yes, and I am very happy to be here. I'm happy to have a great team over there doing all the cooking. We're doing a few bites for you. You know, we were going to kind of do a live on the spot kind of action here. We kind of are right now. Does it smell pretty good? Yeah. How far away from doing the scallops are you, Ryan? Okay, go. So that's Chef Ryan Gilmore, who is executive chef of Notable. We're a little understaffed and a little super busy tonight at Nash. Not that but we tore him away from carving prime rib tonight. And you know, I love hanging out with Ryan and doing food, and Beside him is young Jordan, who's here to learn how to do something different. Because these experiences that we give our young people, it's all about that. It's all about doing something a little bit different. So we dragged the two fellas from Notable, and we're doing kind of a Nash dish. The chef was like, yeah, that's different. And he's just finished sauteing. That beautiful smell is a combination of potatoes, sweet corn, and chorizo, house-made chorizo. And chef is about to start pan-searing scallops. Put up your hand if you've ever had the grilled romaine with scallops at Notable. Wow! So the 94% of you that haven't, you need to try it. We pan-sear about 100 pounds of scallops a week. So you'll see when Ryan gets going. He's very experienced at the scallops. He'll be hitting them, basting them with butter. And he's done this for so long and he does it so well. He actually has a ranking. It's Master Baster. To be clear, Master Baster. If you want to watch, he's not shy either. And yeah, we're gonna rock out a little scallop, and then in the little cartridges there is a little corn Nash, little chef trick. We pump a little CO2 in there, it makes it all light and foamy and lovely. The key is that it tastes great first, and then we add air to make it all lovely. Oh, we're flashing the lights again. That means Noble, put the microphone down. They've had enough of you. I just want to thank all of you for supporting this amazing charity. As a father and as a human, I just thank you for being here tonight. After the scallops, we have more food. So please enjoy the home. Please hang out, not too close to the scallops. And enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for being here.
Notable and Nash.